2 more days, day and a half left in 2015. Well, it's hard to believe. I remember talking last night on our broadcast, the Faribault Falcon girls hockey game. Mona Kaiser, Executive Director of the Faribault Area Senior Center, our guest this morning on AM Minnesota. I remember telling the listeners who were listening on the broadcast last night that I can recall thinking 2000 was so far off.
No.
And now we're 16 years beyond that almost.
I can't believe how fast the year is gone. I am just blown away. It seems like just yesterday we were going through preparing for a new year. So I know what you mean.
When I turned 40, I said, man, that was quick. And my dad, who was 83, I think at the time, said,
you ain't seen nothing.
He said, you think the first 40 was fast, wait till the next 40.
I love it.
You know, I turned 57 last week. And that went by like a blink.
I know what you mean. I know. Happy birthday, by the way.
No, that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here to talk about the Faribault Area Senior Center. Boy, I was sure honored to MC your kickoff celebration. That was awesome.
I know. I was just wondering if I have been on your program since we did that event, but I don't think I have. So, of course, once again, that's how fast time goes. So, November 10th, we had the big kickoff at the American Legion, and you MC'd it for us. Weren't you blown away by the attendance?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
It really was.
We had over 350 people in attendance of supporters and people that came to find out about the project, and gave us some amazing pledges. We raised over $200,000 in that one event, so successful. So your enthusiasm was a big part of it. That was great fun.
It was a lot of fun, and I hope Scott Wolf forgives me for...
You picked on him a little bit, didn't you?
I just introduced him as the last person that a lot of us get to see.
Yes. Yeah, it was really funny. And the whole event was, I thought, organized well. I think that the consultants that we had in arranging it did a nice job with the video. Julie Fox prepared. And Todd Markman was the main speaker talking about the project. You emceed it for us. Herb Sellner played a keyboard for us, and I did a little piece. So, yeah, 350 people. Amazing.
The first time I ever emceed a banquet where you had a rehearsal beforehand.
How about that? Yeah, and that was kind of necessary, turned out,
Cause we cut some stuff out, and
Yep. Because the timing was important, that we had people in and out of there, so we wanted to be respectful of their time.
They ran out of all the food.
I know. I feel bad about that, but we also know that the reason we came was to hear about the project, and the food was a bonus. We had some fabulous vendors helped us out.
Well, what it showed me was they brought enough. I mean, there were like 4 pieces of cupcakes or something on the back table, and
when
it was
there.
all over, and I think the
F-Town
Brew.
Yep, F-Town Brewery was one of them.
And they used up all the stuff they had.
Yeah. It was a tasting, is what it was. It's some people have been to these events where it's a sampling, where you're planning on having all of everything. Well, this was a tasting, and it was just a way to give people a little touch of this and that. So.
Yeah, the wine was good.
Yeah. Faribault Liquor, the Fairway Foods connection. So
ran out of some of that.
I know.
So.
Yeah. And the Legion was a great venue for it. We had lots of room, and they were really nice to work with as well.
Fantastic. We're going to get an update on how that campaign is going. The capital campaign, remember, there are only a couple of days left for tax purposes, charitable contributions. You have to do it in 2015 if you want to take credit for it in 2015, which means today or KDHL Agri Boosters. Well, a senior booster, the executive director anyway of the Faribault Area Senior Center, is Mona Kaiser. She's with us this morning on AM Minnesota, and the main reason I asked Mona to stop by, we are going to talk about some other things going on, but was to give us an update on the capital campaign, Mona, because we haven't had it in the news recently, and you probably want to keep people informed.
Absolutely. In fact, it's kind of interesting as I look at our newsletter, which was just prepared and will go out in the mail later today. In the article I wrote updating our members, it talks about we've reached 750,000 in pledges and cash. And before I came today, I looked it up, and we are now at 800,000.
Yeah.
So, since this was prepared 10 days ago, and today we've gained another $50,000. So people have been overwhelmingly supportive of this project. We are a third of the way there. The project total is 2.1 million. We are at 800,000, so we are moving along wonderfully. People haven't heard much about it in the last couple of weeks, simply because the holidays. And I'm trying to do what I can to let people know that, as you referred to earlier, they can make a charitable contribution. In fact, just at the last minute, as Congress is known to do, they did pass a bill again giving people the chance to make a gift from their IRA without penalty if they are 70 and a half. And some people have taken advantage of that. So if any of the listeners are interested in using that opportunity to make a contribution from their IRA, and I by no means know much about all this, but they should call their financial planner,
yes,
talk about that, and ask them for some more information, and certainly designate us if they so choose.
Yeah, some people may not be aware that maybe the 70 and a half, I don't remember what age,
Yep.
but there's a certain age where you start having to take a distribution from your IRA. It's required.
Yes, that's what I
And
understand.
so that is what you could donate, and it would be kind of a painless way to do that.
Exactly, and there's no penalty, so they don't have to pay tax on that money. They have to take it out. And if they would like to give it to a charitable organization, they don't pay tax on it, and so they can make a gift to us today and tomorrow. And we will be at the senior center, and we'd be very happy to talk to them about that. So
now we could talk to her blue in the face about how fair it is to have to pay a tax on it to begin with when you pull it out. But
that's out of my wheelhouse. So I'll let somebody else do that one.
I always scratch my head on that one. It was this required distribution for me.
From their IRAs.
Required by the federal government that you have to take this, and then you have to pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
So this is a way to avoid all that, is what we're getting at.
Yes,
folks.
absolutely. So call a financial planner, tax preparer, a professional person, and we certainly would be able to accommodate them on our end if they want to do that. So, yeah, it's a great chance.
Just a couple days left, today and tomorrow,
Correct.
if that's something that you want to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the next phase of our project, we do have several of our steering committee people have been out. They've been out soliciting gifts, and there are a lot of those that are still out there, and people are still making their decision on what they want to give to us. But our next step moving forward will be our Every Member campaign. And the Senior Center has 800 members, and so far, as of 10 days ago, we had 197 that have given. So our next step will be to ask the rest of our members if they would be willing to give. And some people will give a little, some people will give a lot, depending on their means. We are hoping that we can get a contribution from all of our members. And I think the importance of that is that if we're going to our community and our businesses and our local philanthropic community and asking them for money, their question is, well, are the members giving? And that's a fair question. So what we want to do is make a statement to Faribault and the other givers that yes, indeed, we do want this project to go forward, and we are going to financially contribute to it to make it happen. So everyone will look at us and make sure that we are doing our part instead of just going to others. So
How many members are there currently?
just under 800. I don't have the exact number, but just under 800 paid members for 2015. I think 780 is a pretty close number. So so we will be then, now after the first of the year, sending a letter and then doing follow-up with all of our members and asking if they would also commit. So, if you figure out, $1 a day or You know, you can do it over 3 years. That's the other thing. You know, if people don't have the means to make a $1,000 pledge and do it all in 1 year, well, you know, how about making that $1,000 pledge over 3 years? Or maybe a $3,000 pledge. You know, there's a lot of different ways that people can do it. So we're hoping those that do have the means, they will choose to do that for us during our Every Member campaign, which will start in January.
Well, if every one of your members approximating 800 gave $10, you know, that's $8,000.
And it'll add up in a hurry, won't it?
I'm just throwing out some round numbers there.
Sure. Yeah.
Was there ever any thought, consideration, and maybe this is a boneheaded way to think, but was there ever any thought about, you know, dues are $25 a year, asking for a one-time $15 or $10 extra on the dues for the year, and that money goes toward the
campaign? No, it didn't come up that way. It's not a bad idea. To promote it and to make it easy. It would be an easy way for people to make their contribution, is to put it in with their dues. I've seen other places do that, where they, you know, your dues are X amount, and you also have the option to throw in another 50 for such and such.
Yep.
You should be on our planning, our steering committee, Gordy. Your brainstorming ideas
Well,
are always good.
I don't know how that would go over or not, but it seems like it would be a easy way to get all the membership.
Right. Yeah, and a good way to capture, you know, those smaller amounts, definitely. You know, we certainly want to get some of those larger dollar amounts as well, and I know that, you know, I'm pretty sure that money is out there as well, that people might believe in us.
I also know that you have a naming rights ability. Has there been any discussion concerning that with anybody?
You know, there has been some, and we have had some gifts that would qualify for that.
Sure.
Some of the rooms, some of the offices, we do have some of the larger ones still open for naming, but we have had quite a few in the $50,000 giving range, and which would qualify them for naming as well, but that has not been totally nailed down yet.
So what if a couple of people both want it and they get the right, you know, the amount of money that you need? How's that going to work?
Well, we're gonna make sure that we keep that, figure that out, whether it's because when we put the naming rights together, we chose certain rooms in certain places, depending on the size and the locality. Well, we certainly would be willing to divide those in half, or we would be able to adjust some of those rooms to make those accommodating for those larger gifts. So we will make that happen if they choose to do that.
But that's something, if a listener out there is thinking, you know, they wouldn't mind remembering mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whatever.
I really see it that as a nice opportunity for people as a memorial. Maybe there's some estate, a family that has some money in an estate that they would like to name a place after their family member. So that would really be logical, you know, for them, for their family.
What was it Tom Markman said? The Kosfeld closet or something.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah. You got throw a couple dollars in the pocket.
Hang your coat over in the Kosfeld closet there.
We'll put your name on that, Gordy, I promise.
We'll have to find out what monetary amount you need to pay
for the Kosfeld closet.
Probably about what I could afford.
Yeah, we'll use some colored construction paper for the label outside that closet for you.
When you embarked on this initially, Mona, was there a deadline date to raise all the funds?
You know, we would like to be able to break ground in 2016, but I am not naive enough to say that that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. We know that we are not going to break ground until we have about 90% of the money received or pledged. So the organization cannot handle a loan payment, so we're not going to do anything recklessly and do anything hastily.
Well, we're talking about a generation of people who is pretty frugal.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
Wise with their dollars.
And,
They're not the credit generation that I guess we are.
we're gonna pay for it as we go. Right, and I think that people would respect us for that. People like the fact that we're not going to do something until we have the money in hand. And I have an obligation to this organization not to be reckless with their money.
Right.
And so we will not. So, you know, if it takes us longer than we thought, so be it. But we're just going to keep working hard. And I really am optimistic that this project is going to go forward sooner rather than later. So
Refresh our memories. The goal is?
2.1 million. And we have 800,000 already pledged and received or received. So yeah, that's good. We just started raising money in September. So 3 months, September, October, November, yeah, almost 4 months. 800,000 is really good, really good. So I think what's confusing for people is we've been talking about the project for a long time. In fact, 3 years ago we started saying, you know, I wonder, or what do you think?
Well, the city had to buy up the houses over there, right?
We had to get everything in place with the city before we could even think about it. And so that happened a year ago in November. And then, so once that got going, then we could start saying, okay, let's think about now how we're going to raise the money. So we have not been raising money very long. So $800,000 since September is incredible.
Did you visit with the people, the professionals that are helping you with this fundraising about how our kickoff night went?
Oh, yeah. In
Is that
fact,
good?
yeah, what they told us, Crescendo Consulting, the consulting firm that we hired to help us with this, said that the money and the attendance at this event was the largest kickoff that they have ever facilitated.
Wow,
Absolutely.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. In fact, the money, our money of over 200,000 that we secured is 4 times what they had secured at any other event previous to this. Yeah.
So pat ourselves on the back, Faribault.
Yes, absolutely pat ourselves on the back. So there was a lot of generous people that came. I looked around the room and I go, these people are not seniors, or these people don't live in Faribault. I mean,
there
it
are a
was
lot of movers and shakers there too from the area.
absolutely. It was a wide range of people, all ages. People, some lived in Faribault. Most lived in Faribault. Some did not.
That's right.
And that shows us also that there's interest and there's promise in the project.
Well, it is the Faribault Area Senior Center, right?
That is true. And we do have members from outside of the area, some from Northfield, some from Waterville, Medford, Kenyon. So majority, of course, are Faribault, but outside of the area as well.
Morristown?
Absolutely. No brainer.
So those are some other areas of maybe
That may
fundraising opportunities there too.
That's true. That's very true. Because they do not have a senior center, Morristown, has I think a social group, but not a building. So yeah, we try to serve them as well.
Yeah. Well, a lot of places don't have. I know Kenyon, they have a senior card club that meets every Friday at the ambulance garage.
Gotcha.
But I mean, they don't have a home of their own.
Correct.
Like the Faribault Area Senior Center is.
Right.
And you have a lot of great programming, so let's tackle some of the new stuff in your new newsletter there.
Absolutely.
Mona, I'm looking at your website. You're updating that later today.
I am.
With the new items, but I did want to touch on this because I thought it was very interesting. This Living Well with Chronic Conditions workshop that begins January 20th and runs for 6 weeks. Sounds very interesting, and it's free, right?
It is. One of the great things that our organization does is we work really well. We play well with others, is how you might say it. And Living Well with Chronic Conditions Workshop is one of the programs that is coming from public health, and they are the ones that are bringing in the staff to facilitate it. We're making the space available. We're helping to advertise, and talking with people who have medical concerns, maybe diabetes or or high blood pressure, and how they can manage those things. Those are ongoing chronic diseases.
Arthritis, yeah.
Yep, and what you can do to live your life well with that. So 6 weeks, it's a free thing, 2 hours once a week for 6 weeks. Starts in January. So yeah, they can call the senior center and get signed up for that.
In your description, it says you'll get the support you need, find practical ways to deal with pain and fatigue, discover better nutrition and exercise choices, and learn better ways to talk with your doctor and family about your health.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are great skills that we don't necessarily all have. And so each week they have something specific that they cover. And then there's a workbook, and then there's practice, and then you discuss that and get more tips from the people that are trained to lead that group.
Now, let's be honest,
Yes.
especially us men aren't really good about sharing any medical woes we might have. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean to stereotype.
Well, you can say that and get away with it, I think, but I think you might be right. I think you might be right. It is not easy to talk about some medical concerns.
But really, you should
Right.
share with your kids about problems that you're having, because
Right.
they might have to make a decision down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, people can't help you and support you unless they know that you're going through some, medical issues. So you're right. It has to, you have to talk about those things. I want to make sure I don't forget that Karen Olson, along with public health staff, are helping with this. So Karen works at the hospital, and then there's also another trained volunteer, a lay person that helps too. So we'd like to make sure everybody gets there.
Is this free for non-members too?
Yes, it's free, open to the community. It's open to the public.
Everybody?
Yep. Living Well with Chronic Conditions Workshop. It's been offered before. I think this will be the 3rd time it's been offered, and we're really happy to host this. Another thing that we partner and host that is not our program is the Elder Collegium classes. You may be familiar with the Elder Collegium classes that come out of Northfield. Well, now they have taken those classes and brought some of them into Faribault, and we also are working with them and going to host Elder Collegium classes. We did one in the fall. Jeff Jarvis did a class in our building through Cannon Valley Elder Collegium, and now retired Pastor Dick Jorgensen is going to do one this winter, and then there's another one in the spring.
So what's his class going to be?
Dick Jorgensen's
Yeah.
is on the Inklings, and it's literature. Don't ask me much about it, but I know it's literature based, and the Inklings is the topic. So don't put me on the spot.
No, that's okay. Sounds interesting.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, so we're happy to also share that. One of the other things that I want to make sure that we do touch on is a program that we have hosted for years and years and years that is we are not able to host again this year will be the tax preparation service.
Just haven't been able to find anybody to do it, right?
AARP provides the volunteers. They are the ones that recruit it and train them. We provide the space and we help facilitate it, but people need to know that we are not discontinuing it. They are just unable to find qualified people to do the work. And so we are not going to be able to host that this year at the senior center.
You know, it was one of the bigger things for your senior center.
Yeah, we had a lot of
very
popular free tax prep service, and so it is not going to happen at the Faribault Senior Center. I don't believe it's going to happen in Faribault. So people might want to plan ahead. There's a lot of qualified tax preparers in this community. Call the chamber, look in the yellow pages, look online, ask your friends and family who they use for their tax prep, but
That's
they
unfortunate,
need
but
to
again,
be prepared.
Just to clarify here,
Yes.
Mona,
Yes.
this is not because the Faribault Area Senior Center doesn't want to do it. It's because AARP can't come up with the volunteers to do it.
Correct. Absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that, because I know people are going to be disappointed. They're going to call us. They're going to be upset that we are doing it. That's not the way it is. It's hard work, and the volunteers, it's demanding, and it's difficult and complicated, and so they are just not able to come up with enough qualified people to man our site this year. So
It's
it'll be
unfortunate.
yeah, it is. It's going to be unfortunate, but people should just ask around, ask their friends, ask their family who they use, and be prepared this year to make a change. So thanks for that.
I wonder what it would take.
Yeah.
How many volunteers would you need?
I think they were looking for 4.
They couldn't come up with 4. Wow.
Right. Well, that's the large of a commitment that it is.
Oh, I know. And you don't get paid. I mean, it's free. So
Yeah.
You go through some training. You're not going to just sit down and start doing taxes.
No. And the tax laws are complicated, and the Affordable Care Act puts another layer of complexity into it.
For sure.
Yeah. So.
In fact, there's some other new stuff coming down the pike that you were telling me before you hit the airwaves.
With the Affordable Care Act?
I don't remember what it was. Maybe.
Yeah.
We only got a minute left of the show.
Yeah, we better not go there.
That wasn't very good on my part.
Yeah.
Is there one final note you wanted to make here?
No, just, the new newsletter is coming out. People can become a member very easily. $25 for a single, $40 for a couple. We'd love to have more members joining us.
Here's an idea.
Yeah.
How about sending in $50 for your single membership? The $25 that doesn't go toward your membership goes toward the capital campaign.
Well,
how's that for an idea?
Something like that would be very accepted.
Before you leave today, I'm going to have to write you a check here too for my membership.
To get that would be nice.
And
thank you.
A little extra too. I'm going to try and practice what I preach.
Very good, thank you.
Thanks, Mona.
Thanks for the support.
Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Faribault Area Senior Center. Yeah. Their phone number, by the way, what is your phone number, Mona?
332-7357. Website faribaultseniorcenter.org.
All right. That concludes today's edition of AM Minnesota on KDHOM Faribault.